Yeah, I think it's been a a good season. Obviously, ended a little bit disappointed. Disappointing. I think when you get so close to the final, obviously you want to get there and possibly win it. So, but I think when you look back to January and obviously a new franchise, you sort of obviously you hope it's gonna go well. But I think we sort of exceeded everyone's expectations, and I think overall it's been a successful season.
And can you talk to us about being able to come into this style of play, a very specific way of playing, what it's been like to be for it to be adapting to your style, and then yourself being able to adapt to the style in the first place?
Yeah, for me personally, coming the two clubs I played for before had a very similar style, so it wasn't sort of a big change of how to play. I think it was more adapting to. Obviously the weather's one, it's very hot here, and a new league as well, which teams do play different to what they have faced in England before. So that was probably the biggest thing. But yeah, I think overall everyone who came in, played their part, and it's been good to be part of.
And from a defensive front, what is it like have to defend MLS teams, this team, and what have you learned about the nuances in each individual team, or is there something that is very similar throughout all the teams that you've been able to face this season?
Yeah, I think with us, we're a team who keep the ball, so a lot of teams try and play counter-attack against us, so it's just sort of managing that. And I think throughout the season we sort of got better at that, and see the results showed that. Obviously more clean sheets and stuff. So I think obviously at the start I had its challenges, like that was probably what was expected as we're a new team. So, but I think overall I think we're probably one of the best teams in the MLS, and to say that after one season, it's pretty good, and credit to everyone.
Obviously, during the season, Mike Ibadas talks about the internal competition and everyone fighting for minutes. It seemed like after an injury that you had, Manu Dua took advantage of the opportunity and kind of became the starter in that center back pairing with McVay. Can you talk to us a little bit about that shift from being a normal starter with San Diego at the beginning of the season, that kind of transitioning to more of a rotational piece, or even kind of like a leader on the back line, not necessarily with the minutes, but still at practice and mentoring Manu Dua?
Yeah, that's obviously I played a lot at the start, but I think that's football. It's when you get injured or miss a game, it gives an opportunity to someone else, and Manu, he played very very well when he came in, and I think he finished the season very strong. So I think it's a healthy thing in a squad to have competition. I think it makes everyone better, and it helps everyone on the team.
And on the national team aspect, your home country has a tough road ahead with the playoffs against Italy. How are you preparing to tackle that as well?
Yeah, obviously I'll think about the off season now, and then once we get into pre-season again, closer to March, I'll start thinking about that. But it's an exciting time ahead. Obviously the World Cup being here, Mexico and Canada. So if we could, it would be an unbelievable experience to qualify. But I'll think about that a bit closer to the time.
What have you thought about the travel here in the MLS? They say in America sometimes you have to fly on some long plane rides. What have you thought of that this year?
I think people make a bigger deal of it than what it actually what it is. I think we drive to the front of the plane, and majority of the times it's a 2-hour flight, just over 2 hours. In England, sometimes you're on a coach for 4 or 5 hours. So for me, there's no real difference. For me personally, I didn't find it a factor against us, especially when our away record has been so good as well. So I think that's helped. But I do think the travelling is. I don't think it's as bad as people make out.
And when you have such a successful season in your first year, what are the important things that this team needs to do to keep that momentum going for next year?
I just think we need to keep doing the things we've done this year. Don't change, and there's obviously things we can improve. So I think if you're open-minded and believe you can improve and stuff, I think that'll help the team.